Thank you, Angel, and Heidi ho, everyone. Good to have you on board for Turbo Tuesday. Turbo. Crypto Tuesday. Turbo. Okay. I guess it starts with T, and that'll have to do. Wherever you are in God's green garden, then I hope you're having a wonderful Tuesday thus far. It, as always, is good to have you in the room with us. Well, with me at the moment. Ash will be along very, very shortly. He's getting the late mail and potentially placing an order. He'll tell us all about that when he comes into the room very, very shortly. As always, first up, we have a look and see if the pound US dollar is worth a breakout trade today. Got a funny feeling we've seen breakouts already. Well, actually, that's part of the fun today. Are these breakouts going to be false or are they real? Good question. I'm particularly interested in euro dollar, and we'll get to that shortly. Pound US dollar. Yeah, look, you'd have to say it's ranging. I've got no qualms about that. But where do we draw the line here? If we use the current range, 2-day range, we're talking, we've probably got to go from there down to there. Look at that, both big spikes, 125 pips. Could we tighten that up a little bit? Maybe use the open and close. We could do that. So we could use there and there. Still got 93 pips. Still a hell of a ride. And are we in breakout territory or are we in range? I think it's really range weak, isn't it? I think, g'day, Paul P. I think we're stuck with ranges this week, of course, unless something untoward happens, and that can happen at any old time. So I'm less inclined to trade what I call burglar trades. So I'm more inclined to trade what I call burglar trades. What's a burglar trade, you ask? Well, what do burglars do? Cat burglars, they break in, right? So I'd much prefer to break into the range than break out of the range. So that's kind of where I'm at in this, what promises to be a fairly uneventful week. That, of course, gives us a lot of opportunities if we can identify and look at ranges, which is my thing, right? So I should be happy. I am happy. Why wouldn't I be happy? Hang on a sec, guys. I've just got to catch up with YouTube. And I'll be right with you. There you go. All right. So no range break on pound. Well, we're not trading a range break on the pound versus the US dollar, but I am very interested, as I said, to catch these ranges if we can. I haven't updated this chart for a little bit, obviously. Let's get rid of that little box right there, and go to the obvious parameter, which is the range that we're in here, right? It's very, very similar to euro dollar as well. Euro dollar has broken to the high side. That's why I'm interested in it more than this one, to be fair. But let's put the box in anyway, just so we've got a visual on where we're at. And you could probably use there. You could use there. I'm happy with there. So reaching the top of the range, not there. And this, of course, is your breakout zone. Do I want to trade that? Not on your Nelly, but I'll be very interested to see what happens when we get to the top there. Look at that big double top there on a daily chart. Look at it on a weekly chart. Why now would we be looking for that level to go? There's the monthly chart. Form a support, form a strong resistance through here as well. Not a fan of going long here. That said, the most dominant feature of this chart is the big double bottom. Do we have a significant higher low? My answer to that is no. That's where I would like to see price come to get a higher low, and away you go. We were talking a lot about the sentiment cycle yesterday. Now, to my mind, this is a classic look at a sentiment cycle where we've had I'll just squeeze it up just a little bit. There. Not so much through here, but you can see the repetitiveness of fall, consolidate, little rally, pull back. Now we've got, to my mind, this is the subtle warning. This is the overt warning. This is the crash. This is the relief rally, which almost matched the crash point. Now we've gone into the wall of worry here, in my humble opinion. Therefore, we're looking for, or I'm looking for, an aversion point. And that should be down here somewhere, maybe even as low as here. But that's what I'll be looking for at the moment. So therefore, on that basis, on the basis that we are at a strong resistance level, I am a bear pound US dollar for this, well, for the rest of this month, let me put it that way, or even next month. So transfer that to the weekly chart. Why do I think it's going to break through here? I don't. Daily pivot, daily chart, exactly the same scenario. We've got a box range. Let's try and trade it. So that's my opinion on pound US dollar. I'm going to go back to euro US dollar. Now I've got 2 orders on euro US dollar, and I probably should have 3, and they're all short. And the reasoning behind that is very much similar to what I've just described. Now, there's one added bonus, I suppose, on euro US dollar. Euro US dollar has put in, this is a monthly chart, right? Has put in a super clear false break, or potential false break. It's not a false break until it's proven. So I'm of the opinion that we will come off this level. Now, if this high gets taken out, then my analysis is completely incorrect. And that's fine. I'm happy to wear that as long as it doesn't cost me anything, right? So, already it did cost me. We had a loser on euro pound. We took last week. I'll get to that a bit in a minute. So I'm looking for downside here. Could this be a lower high? It doesn't look like it at the moment, does it? Looks like a very, very, very strong candle. And there is our breakout bar on the weekly. It's broken above the ascending channel range, which of course was also left shoulder, head, right shoulder. So that's kind of invalidated the head and shoulders to a degree. And here's the one that interests me most. This is the daily chart. And this candle here is not relevant to these orders. I'll get to that in a second as well. But if today's bar looks exactly like that in the morning, then I'll place an order underneath it, just in case this breakout is in fact false. And if it is, if it gets too much, if it's too, I'll get there. If it gets too sizable or too big, that's the word I'm looking for. If it gets too big, then I'll probably opt not to do that, because I don't want to be trading pretty much more than 1-to-1 to the bottom of that range, right? So that's going to be a criteria, but obviously we'll be taking profit before then anyways, probably around the weekly pivot mark. But in the morning, if that bar looks like that and hasn't gone through DR2, then I will place an order underneath it short, and I will look to take profit, as I said, at the weekly pivot, with a potential for reversal. For how far? Well, there's the monthly chart again. I see that as a false break potential. If we get down to there, then goodness knows where we go. And don't think it can't happen. It doesn't look likely at the moment, I've got to say. The US dollar is as weak as lolly water, but that can change in a heartbeat. So, you know, don't dismiss that as a ridiculous thing to look at. But here are the 2 orders that I do have on euro US dollar that I placed this morning. Pardon me. The daily bar is quite clear. It is an inside bar on the back of a key reversal bar. Now, I've got to say this. The range that we're in may well defeat this key reversal bar, because we've had 2 of them in a row. Key reversal, inside bar, got taken in, you would have been taken out. That was a loser, right? I didn't trade it, but it would have been a loser. This is the second of them. Inside bar is a little bit smaller, and that's kind of a little bit attractive to me, but it's by no means clear cut here. So, you know, enter at your own risk, as they say. 4-hour chart was a little bit early as well. I can never put these in the right place. And like I said, going back to the daily, we may well look, in fact, I think it's almost time to close this now, because really what we were attempting to catch here was a lower high on a candle that I do like to trade, that one there. So I think we can get rid of the 4-hour now. So is that the 4-hour 121? No, that's there's the 4-hour there. So we can kill that. Gonski. We can now get rid of that chart, in fact. And back to the daily. So that one's gone. Have I given up on the shorts on a short time frame or a smaller time frame yet? Probably yes. Probably yes. Because really what I need to see now that there has been a breakout, and this could, of course, just keep going today. It's not what I would like to see, but it could keep going. I'd have to see something of a reversal here, like a double top or a bearish engulfing bar to get me interested. But that would only get me interested. It wouldn't get me into the trade. I'd then need to see a lower high. But by far and away, my preference would be for this to happen. And let me bring a pen. Price back into here. Come back and retest the high of that range. So this level here. And then there's a short. A reversal bar here would look really cool. Something that looks like that with a white body, please, would be good. And we could enter short underneath that. First take profit at the daily pivot. Probably, no, I'd go through the weekly pivot and hit the lows here. That would be my second take profit area. And I would, of course, leave something open because
I have a trade, mate. Sorry.
Right, mate.
I have a trade. It's on the FTSE and it is short. Stops at the highs. You might have to be quick with this, guys. I'm going to try and be as quick as I can for you. Oh, gosh. So it is short. You can take it at market. You won't be too far away from me. And it's not as clean as I'd like, if I'm honest. I don't feel as good about this as normal. So here's the trade here. It is for a short, and I'm just going to aim down. Let me just tidy this line up a little bit. I think the pivot could be seen here. So I'm gonna aim to this trend line here. So it looks to me like around about 70.29 is the target down here. Stop at the highs, just above the bar. Yesterday we had a winner, mate. I'm going to say
it looks like it might have triggered, mate, and done the job.
Yeah,
for you. Good
we
work.
got a decent 2-to-1 yesterday. So let's see what happens today. Now, as I say, I don't feel quite as good about this one. The one thing I would say is that I quite like the area. Now it might be that this doesn't come down that far, and we might only be aiming for 12 or so pips. Now I do like first point of contact. Now that's going to be a 0.5 to 1, so half to 1. But you know, it's one of those, isn't it? You sort of you have to sort of recognise that that profit is profit, and at this stage, now I can't say that that it's absolute, but at this stage, this is working out to be a pretty high what's the word?
Probability.
High probability approach. Yeah. So so there's got to be times that you just sort of say, okay, let's just take the profit, not worry about trying to make loads of cash out of it. We're just going to take the profit where we can. Just move this over here. And I will just see if I can fix stuff up. So that is that. Now, we probably should do some more analysis on this, but I quite like the pivot. Now, let me just see whether the pivots are in the same place for... Might not be that far away, actually. Now, one thing I would say, I think I probably will take profit quite early, probably earlier than I'm indicating on that, because I don't see that much downside. I might just aim a little bit more to that point, actually. Now, if I'm honest, I haven't done anywhere near the preparation on this one as I normally would. So my profit taking target at the minute is 70.41. Now, I haven't done the analysis on this the way that I've been doing it for the other times, because in truth, I got caught downstairs and I didn't realize the time. So I've just kind of run up and looked at it, and I knew I wanted to go short, but this target might not be quite right. It might want to come down a little bit further, but that's okay. That's okay. I don't mind taking profit early, because, as I say, you know, we're not going to go broke taking a profit, and so far it's working out quite well, this particular approach. So so I'm quite happy to continue to do it this way, and not be too concerned about grabbing every single pip that's available.
Awesome. Love that approach.
Yeah, well, I don't know, why has that happened? And I seem to have a bit of a freeze on one of my accounts here. Or I wonder if I've got too many accounts open. Yeah, we'll see what we get. Let me just make sure this level's in right. Yeah, that's right. That looks to me like first point of contact anyway. You know, if this trend line is gonna, if this is a retest, it looks like that particular area may well hold up. So the half of 1% might be the best option for safety more than anything else. I would suspect. My other account is completely frozen up, which is going to be very, very irritating, and it's going to be one of those things that I might have to contact the broker on.
Just give me a whistle if you need a break.
Yeah, I think we're okay, mate. I think we're okay. It's strange, because what I'm looking at is the FTSE futures and the FTSE cash, effectively. Now, the FTSE futures are moving on the same broker, but the cash is not. And I normally would trade the futures, but they've hiked their prices on the futures. Yeah, which, you know, it's an extra pip and a half that they've put on top of the original cost. So so I'm obviously not as keen to kind of go with the futures anymore. So I've switched to cash on the other one, but for some reason the cash is actually frozen, whereas, as I said, the futures haven't. So I don't know what I'm going to do. So I might have to call them and just make sure that I can close that trade if it comes into the profit area. But we will see. We will see. But yeah, anyway, Matt, I mean that is literally probably it for right now. Anyway, I just wanted to make sure that was available to everybody. I mean, we'll do a little bit of work on it, just to say that I like the price, but the thing with it is that, and I quite like this bar as well. If you look at the hourly bar, we have got a trigger bar here. What's the thing with it is the breakout. So we've got to be careful that we're not just moving to the upside. And overall, markets have been pretty good. You know, when we kind of when I opened up the US session yesterday, the Nasdaq was on a bit of a tear. You know, it was doing really well. It's managed to make its way now above this monthly pivot. And again, it's probably also on a reflection point. Now that doesn't mean it's going down from here, but it might struggle somewhat. But the markets are actually in pretty good shape right now. They're quite buoyant. Cryptocurrencies have started to pick up as well, which I think are quite good indications for risk assets. I haven't seen the Aussie collapse particularly.
No, it's rallying against the dollar today, but everything is.
it continues to bounce back, doesn't it? And for that reason, I think it is going to be prudent to take the profit as early as possible with the FTSE if we get that opportunity.
Yeah, I think that's more a dollar story than it is an Aussie story.
Yeah, I mean, but as I say, things are all right. And it's going to be interesting to hear from Shukri later on to see whether he thinks that the flush out is done, or whether he thinks that there could be some further downside. But let's have a look at what we've got today. If there's anything that's going to be particularly significant in the market, apart from the fact that the Europeans are now not on holiday anymore, and it's not a lot, really, is there, mate? Not a lot. So it doesn't suggest sort of like a great deal of volatility necessarily, which does suggest that the market will probably hold on to the ranges, because really what's been happening with the market is it's been creeping forward. I mean, all of a sudden, the Nasdaq did actually, have a pretty good breakout. But looking at this on the hourly, you can see that it kind of crept around a bit, then it exploded, then it's crept around a bit. But most recently, the last couple of days, it's kind of been creeping its way back to the upside. So confidence I think is quite measured at the minute. I'm certainly not calling for an absolute market collapse here. I think I'm going to have to contact my broker, mate. So I will be here, but I'm just going to email them to start with, just to see what's going on with this, because my other market hasn't come to life yet. And if this is going to be a short-term trade, I really do need to make sure they're going to take the profit off the table.
Okay, I'll continue where I was at.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you, mate.
That's no problem at all, mate. Trades always trump everything. Okay, so I was talking about the euro, therefore I'm on the Aussie chart. And I think I'm really done with the euro, but the only thing that would get me interested today in trading it at all, full stop, long or short, would be if I saw something of a double top, and then a lower high, or back into here, as I was saying, retest the breakout area and then look for a short, taking profit at the pivots. Maybe not the weekly pivot, maybe the bottom of the range, as I said. So that would be my approach on the euro for the rest of the day. Speaking of the euro, we were talking yesterday, and there were two things I was looking to trade. One was the euro long, and we said we would look for a higher low after this break of the daily pivot. Well, we certainly got that. Untradeable, of course, because I have no idea what happened there, but it's an ugly candle and very, very difficult to trade. But if you were had aspirations to trade this long, then maybe it's not such a silly idea to trade that bar. Would be for me. I can't trade that bar. It's just too nonsensical. And I'd have to know the reason why it did what it did and all the rest of it. So I would just have not been in that per se. But as I said, you could have picked that up earlier in the day with this bar here. Would have been a good one. So that's the euro for the day. We spoke about the Aussie. Let's have a look at it. Yeah, look, really very frustrating at the moment trying to find a direction, number one, and number two, an entry if you did find a direction. The direction appears to me to be short, but I'm talking the range and primarily only the range. We've had perhaps in fact, I'll put that line in because we used it a couple of weeks ago, didn't we? You'll recall when we were looking at this retest level and, pardon me, the bounce off it and the predictable bounce off the top of the range didn't go too far, only went to the monthly pivot. And it's there that we've stayed, really. You know, there's a range within a range here. And at this very moment, we're bang in the middle of it. Makes it very, very difficult to trade because there's nothing to bounce off. And well, really, it's just a matter of, nah, don't want to know about it. So let's move on. That's easy. But the pound, like I said, the euro exactly the same. Sorry, not exactly the same, but this one hasn't broken through the top of the range. Same as euro, if it does break, I'll be looking for it to come back inside, give us a lower high, and away we go. It may not even do that. So if it even touches that level, then I'm still looking for a lower high to trade it short. Why am I bullish the dollar? I'm not. I'm not bullish the dollar. I'm trading technical levels here, nothing more than that. Aussie CAD. We're still in Aussie. Yeah, of course, we're still in Aussie CAD. And our stop loss, I think I've updated you on that. Stop loss has moved way down below entry. Was it 200 pips, 180 pips? Can't remember. Yep, 185 pips below our entry, which is great. And we've taken profit on this, of course. And this bar here looks interesting again. So it wouldn't surprise me to see Aussie CAD further downside. Nothing to do there. Pound Kiwi, that looks interesting to me. That looks, again, like a potential false break. Let me show you why. You could use that high. You could use that high. We'll use that one. And there you can see something very interesting where we have broken to the high side. We've kind of matched the tweezer top sitting there and put in, I don't know if that qualifies as your evening stars or not, because I don't know exactly the parameters of that, but I don't care, because it's giving me a strong indication that this is a false break of that level. Not only the trade line, but of course the horizontal level as well. So we're screaming out for a bullish bar today. And if we were to close on or around the weekly pivot, man, that would be an automatic entry underneath the bar, stop loss above the weekly pivot and the bar, maybe even above that swing there. So keep your eye on that one in the morning. I'll certainly be putting that in the Telegram group, as I do each and every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, sometimes Friday as well. So if you're not involved in the Telegram group, you can do that underneath us here somewhere. There you go. Thank you, Angel. Angel's just put that in the chat. Where Ash and I put all of our analysis and trade updates. If you miss them in here, we put management in there, etc. So this one looks really primed to go to me. Would I like to trade it earlier than that is the question. Yeah, I don't think so. I think the daily is probably where I need to be. I watch this area very closely, of course, because it is a retest of broken resistance, and it is, of course, the daily pivot and the weekly pivot today as well. So great level to trade from on pound Kiwi. We are waiting, of course, to trade pound Kiwi long at the break of this bar here. But that's not going to stop me for 1 second trading it short on the smaller time frames. So be ready for that. That's pound Kiwi. Oh, Aussie Kiwi. Okay. Now, I was bullish this yesterday, and it, of course, went in the opposite direction. No trade. Where am I at now? I've kind of got to change this trade line, I think, because it's getting a little bit messy. So we'll go to here and pick this one up, which looks a whole lot better now. So you can see that we're trapped in here, and the pivots are really messing us up. When I say messing us up, you don't need the pivots here to tell you that you're in a very, very tight and volatile range, if I can put it that way, because there are high test bars, low test bars all over the place. The monthly pivot seems to be ruling the roost, but so does the trade line. And the closer we get to that, or those two converging, then the more likely we are to get out of here. And we are going to break out of here, I can promise you that. When is a great question. So I'm on notice now. So every time we look like getting a false break here, I'd like to trade it to the upside. And every time we're looking like getting a false break to the upside, I'd like to trade it to the downside, with the thought process that if we do catch the right false break here, we can get it going wherever that breakout's going to take place. And it will. The whole month has been spent in this area, and even beyond has been spent in this area, and price just has no idea where it wants to go. So when it does go, I do believe it will.
And close, mate. Profit taken on the FTSE. Good
on you, mate. Well done. So the best way to trade these, of course, is as false breaks, not as breakouts. And that, pursuant to what I said earlier, I'd rather trade burglar trades break-ins rather than breakouts today. And for the week, probably. That brings to mind Euro Kiwi, which was, of course, another one of the range potential range trades. We've since put in 1, 2, 3 false. Well, when I say since, that's not true. We've since only put in 1 because I was analysing this off these 2. We've had 2 false breaks of that range already. I'll show you the range more clearly. There it is on the daily chart. Why will this break out? Don't know. No idea. Is there a fundamental reason? Maybe. Everyone's touting the Kiwi as a strong currency in terms of seasonality, I think, and Ash, I think you were mentioning it as well, was showing Kiwi as a buy.
No, actually, it was the seasonality. Yeah, the seasonality was showing. Right. Yeah, I'll have to check the COT again.
Okay. So that would tend to suggest that my range here won't work, but that doesn't mean it won't work. It just means it would tend to suggest it won't work. But it's now a clear false break for mine, and I'll be looking at this bar again tomorrow on the daily chart. But even before that, I think on the 4-hour chart, if I were to see a clear lower high here, maybe even this bar, if this bar were to retrace, may hit the daily pivot, come back and close maybe in this area, still give me a white body. I think that would be almost where I'd need to be. It's trading at a resistance level, but it probably needs, I'd consider it. I'll put it that way. It's not the best. The best would be if we get a little bit more price action up to here, then we get that high test bar and reversal, then we can look to trade it as a lower high off triple top, if you like, call it what you want. To me, it's a false break at this point in time. Couple more, but only 2 more. And I know Shukri will be chomping at the bit very shortly to tell us all about what's going on with the crypto market. Spoke about this yesterday, and it's kind of showing me 2 things. It's showing me break and retest of the top side of this descending channel, which is very, very clear. It's also showing me that it couldn't close below that level on the monthly chart. That's interesting, because these 3 white soldiers, if you like, we'll call them that, followed by a retest of that level, does appear to be bullish to me. It's very, very difficult for me to be a bull on dollar yen. But then I saw this bar here, which I thought was a key reversal bar, but it wasn't. The low is higher than the previous, not lower, where it needs to be. And then that little inside bar. I think this is far more confusing than anything else. So there's no clear picture here for me, except on that bigger time frame. If you look at this particular scenario, break, consolidate, re-entry, retest, then you'd be inclined to put a short below that bar there. And I still got that in my head, really. But I'd much rather trade from up here somewhere. Thing with dollar yen is it can just go and then it just doesn't look back like there. But then, of course, it's currently in this little range that we probably should be paying a little bit more attention to. And there you go. We are at the bottom of that range. And where's the top of it is the question. Yeah, it's not. Well, I suppose it is. Yeah, it's pretty obvious. We're in there somewhere. So clearly at the bottom of that range at the moment. So as usual, if it breaks short, I'll look to play a false break, unless, of course, it gets away on us. Then it's all over Red Rover and we don't get in the trade. But that'll be my primary focus on dollar yen, looking for that long. I hate to say it, but I am.
I mean, at some point, well, surely we have to, don't we? I mean, it's when I think about the dollar and all this talk of inflation. So far, I think people are basically saying, okay, well, the Fed aren't going to do anything. You know, we're kind of okay right now. But there's got to be at some point, and unless we think the dollar is just going to go to zero, and you know, again, it's going to be interesting to hear what Shukri says about the crypto space. I was having a really good chat with my friend last night about cryptos and kind of and the plan, obviously, when they first came along, was to replace the monetary system. But now the big guns are starting to take control of the crypto market, which is what I think has been happening. Is the whales have been crashing it out and getting rid of people. Not the whales, sorry, the institutes have almost become the whales. So eventually, who knows? Maybe the central bank starts to buy bitcoins and stuff like that as a part of their reserve, part of their balance sheet, just like they're buying gold. It's possible, but it does suggest again, the power will be wrestled back to the power, the main players,
power brokers. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's always been. So at some point, kind of thinking about it that way, at some point you think that the dollar has to strengthen. Surely it can't continue to go down. I mean,
yes, it can.
This time it's different, mate.
Well, it's on a breakout level now, actually. And if you ever wanted to trade it long, I think after this week would probably be the go. I'm looking at, I can't show you my chart of the dollar index, but it's just broken 1, 2, 3, 4, a 5-day range, which were all inside bars, basically. So, well, it's breaking it today. It hasn't shown that that's going to be conclusive. If that were to be similar to the euro, if that bar today is, in fact, it would be exactly the same as the euro, were to be pretty much as it is now, and I'm seeing a bearish decisive bar, as long as it doesn't get, ridiculously oversold, then I think that the buy above that bar makes sense to me.
Yeah,
but we'll see.
Yeah. And it will affect everything, won't it? If the dollar starts to strengthen, it will affect everything. And,
SH1T.
Yeah, yeah. Because there's a really interesting inverted head and shoulders that I've noticed now on Bitcoin, and again, it'd be interesting to get Shukri's take on whether the flush out is done or not. But of course, if the dollar
small guys,
I beg your pardon.
It's the flush out of the small guys.
Is it done? That's the real question. Is it done?
It is. I think it is, but yeah,
okay.
they spend because it's weird. Okay, you have anything else to say? Because then I'll tell you the story. I think
hang on. I've got one more thing to say.
Just got one more thing to say. Yeah, it's better to burn out than to fade away.
And we want to celebrate the Brits today. They're good in NFTs.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Okay, mate. Right. We're going to talk NFTs later. I'm excited about it.
I have something for you to do after this.
Okay. All right. Let's hear from Jeff and finish with Jeff, and then we'll get to you, mate. I'm excited.
Okay. Well, it's always nice to pump out the good news, but sometimes there's news that ain't so good, and that was the case overnight with Euro Pound that I got into on Friday. I think we placed the order on Wednesday, again on Thursday, and again on Friday, and it turned out to be a dud. So I think that's the first loser in about 7 trades. So you'll please forgive me for that one, guys, if you followed it. It still hasn't closed above the monthly pivot, which is interesting on the daily charts. Do I want to trade that bar short? Probably not, but I'm still looking for a short. And if I find one, I will let you know.
Thank you, buddy.
Right, I'm done.
Right, Shukri, let's talk everything, mate. I don't know where we start really, but let's talk.
Yeah, let's talk about cryptos like total washout. But before that, we must see something else. I mean, this is really interesting. I mean, this is like shocking. And you have your daughter's name is Molly, right?
Yeah.
We got something for her to do. I'm serious. I want to show you something. Have you seen? Wait, let me see. Let me change the screen here for a while. Have you seen this famous video here?
Ouch, Charlie!
Is that William and Harry?
883 million views. Jeff can do this also. We're going to create a generation of vampires here because you know why? That is sold as an NFT.
Oh my goodness me.
Look at that. So
oh my God, unbelievable.
Unbelievable, right? And it's going off. It's still there, but it won't be long in YouTube because They just sold it off as an NFT. And those boys are big now. Okay, I think they're going to college. Their college fees and whatever.
Wow.
And that's for, right?
Wow.
How does this happen, Shukri? What fool
What
pays
idiots?
$500,000?
Yeah, exactly.
That's why in this crypto market, when you see this, you know that the washout last week, and I'll tell you why I think it indeed is a washout by the big guys. Now, whether it's the big guys includes the fund managers, whether the big guys include the governments and all these things, we do not know, but definitely a washout of the big guys, because no one is going to buy this if the crypto market has crashed.
Yeah.
That's just a fact. So there's something going on. Unfortunately now, guys, I think the market now has become like the other markets where the big guys are trying to get in. And when they get in, they are, the small guys are being crushed.
So, I had a bit of a discussion with my buddy last night about cryptos, and it's more of a, I guess, a philosophical question than anything else. The fact that the institutes are now involved says to me that the institutes are controlling it. That the crash that we've had, what's the term, Shukri, when the institutes do this? It's a
liquidation.
What's it?
Liquidation.
No. There's a they call it something. This type of price action where the institutes come in and flush everybody out, and they go slightly lower than the price point.
Look at that. So many traders in crypto last week just lost their accounts. The 800,000 accounts were gone, liquidated, gone, finished.
Yeah.
These are the small accounts. Now, what was weird last week was that, see, that something is going to happen when the cryptos start going back into the exchanges. But we saw this on Binance, which is the retail part. This did not happen on Coinbase. That I thought was kind of weird.
Yeah.
So, I thought that this could, so I did not do anything. Luckily for that, I didn't do anything. But still, I'm quite surprised that, this wrecked everything for everyone. Everyone was caught out. A lot of people were caught out. And even during that time, this is the bad thing, guys. This is reality. If you're on leverage, let me give you a scenario. You couldn't even access your account on Binance. You can't even get in.
When last week?
Yeah, last week during this time. When you got in, it's probably gone. And that's why you really need to know what you're doing. You really need to know your stops and all. If you are trading, if you're hodling, it's different.
Yeah.
You saw the rebound today, right? It's very cruel. It's very cruel. And let me tell you the cruelty of this. The cruelty of this is that it's rebounding today plus this. It's consensus today. So I've always said that, Bitcoin tends to go bullish heading into consensus. It didn't, but it was bullish on consensus, because on consensus, there are really a lot of announcements. And voila, what did they announce last night? Well, Elon Musk suddenly has become friendlier towards crypto. Hello, Elon Musk. And he's talking now about green. He's going to have a consortium of green miners. Hello. Secondly, Ray Dalio, which warned about all this, suddenly says, I have Bitcoin. What
has he? He's come out and said that, has he?
He's come out and said that. So now you know what's happening, right? This is cruel.
Yeah.
Because they didn't say it last week. They just said everyone seems to keep quiet. And then this is what is shifting in crypto. So I think it's over, but I think we will have problems here. This is the 100. This is the 200. So it looks like, this is the 50, 20, and 50. I think we'll have problems here because, again, what's happening now, and I discussed this with Gordon last night, too many people got blown out. The problem is they are the smaller guys with Facebook accounts. Yeah. Ray Dalio has LinkedIn. He only comes out once in a while, so he won't impact things. So the problem is the Facebook guys are now saying that they got blown out, I think this is going to freak people from coming in, because let's face it, guys, I'm sorry to say this. Here's the deal. It's been, I don't know whether it's true in FOREX. I know it's true in other markets. I'm not sure whether it's true in FOREX. But here's the deal. For the price to go to the moon, guess what? And I'm going to be right. Ray Dalio, the suckers have to come in.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly, mate. Exactly. And as you say, they've cleared out a lot of suckers. So you know, but what they've done is cleared out the suckers so they can get a better price, haven't they? You know, so they've manipulated it. And this was going to be my point really, is if we now have institutes that are able to manipulate the price of crypto, then to my mind that becomes a centralized system, because you still now have a specific amount of people that are controlling what is happening to the asset. So the thing that is created for, which is to be decentralized, is almost becoming centralized by default, because you have people that are able to buy lots and lots of the stuff. And where people have bought cryptocurrencies because they're saying that I'm fed up with central banks effectively controlling my wealth by printing money and devaluing my currency. Well, that's what these guys are doing. The price of cryptocurrency is going to be.
But here's the problem, Ash. In any other market like Forex, you don't have to cause a lot of disruption. You can just go buy it. The problem now, there's only 21 million Bitcoin. A lot has been lost.
Yep.
It's not like you can print more. What do? You send the small guys out. And this is what they saw in Glassnode. They saw a transfer from weak hands to strong hands.
Yeah.
So the strong hands, I think, will be around here and around here for quite some time.
Yeah.
And someday we will wake up happy again, and then it will go up again. And then, I'm sorry to say this, guys, it happens again and again and again. The suckers will come in again, and then we have another bang.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is what always happens. I mean, I don't know how to stop this cycle, Jeff. I mean, Jeff would know. Jeff has been trading for a long time.
Well, mate, do you know what? There's no way of stopping the cycle, because it's a tried and tested method that has been going on in the stock market for centuries, you know, for decades. So now all they're doing is putting the same process through with cryptocurrencies. So, you know, the same thing happens with the stock market. Everybody starts talking about stocks, so the weaker hands get involved at the highs. And then the strong hands go, brilliant. Now I've got somebody to close my positions, take profit. We'll crash it down and buy again at the bottom.
Yes. And it goes cycle after cycle, right, Jeff?
Yeah.
Well, look, we talk about it all the time. You know, bear traps, bull traps, they're all over the place. They're on every chart. They're on a 30-second chart. They're on a 1-minute chart. They're on a 5-minute chart. It's a profession. It's absolutely, that's how they do this shit. SH1T, I mean.
Education would reduce this.
The what, sorry?
I thought all this investing education would reduce this. It hasn't. I think it's just made it worse by driving the prices even higher.
Well, I think that's probably because when people start their journey, they don't really understand the use of education. They don't understand, and there's so much education now as well that it's a lot easier to go to the wrong place. So you'll get, I mean, you must have found it, mate. Every man and his dog is a crypto expert.
That's correct.
And all of a sudden they're pumping out kind of coin ideas. Go and buy this coin. Go and buy that coin. Some people will make some money for a little while, think that they found, you know, their guru, and then all of a sudden they find out that it is the Wizard of Oz.
Which is good, you know, because these people are going underground for a while until they can borrow from their credit cards, I think. Because I don't know what happened to this evening.
Man, scary. That's scary stuff.
It is 800,000 accounts. You're talking about 800,000 less people. So I see something stable. I see us hanging out here. Yes, it looks like a formation of an inverse head and shoulder, but it's going to take time. It has to take time. Because at the end of the day, I don't think institutions will be pushing it up. Institutions might push it up until here. And then there needs to be another, what was the famous word that Alan Greenspan said? Irrational exuberance. Yes, irrational exuberance to bring it up. But having said that, probably the best analyst that called Bitcoin last year and also called the S&P low last year with Larry Williams, which is this guy. Where is this guy? Where are you?
Do you know what's interesting? You know, you mentioned Larry Williams, mate. What's interesting is the COT report has been very tricky to read on this stuff, because last week they were incredibly bullish and the price tanked. This week they're incredibly bearish, and I suspect the price is probably going to go up. Of course, it's lagging, so we don't really know what they're doing, but the COT report has been way out of whack with Bitcoin.
Correct. Which means manipulation again.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
So this guy has suddenly said that he still believes Bitcoin will hit 100,000 by the end of the year, which is
And it probably will. It sounds ridiculous from here, doesn't it? But it probably will.
No, I know. This is the thing. This is the thing. Now, the only thing is, I think this is a temporary respite, but you know, you guys got to be careful that, again, as I said, never leverage. You just don't know how this markets work. I think I told you guys, right? I learned my lesson in a bear market. A bear, the thing is supposed to go down, right? But I think Jeff would know and Ash would know, right? The bear market rallies are the most violent. I was happily making money. And one day I woke up and said, hey, where's customer service? And then
Yeah.
Never mind. That ended my premature on leverage Bitcoin career. That was the finance, to be fair. That wasn't Deribit, by the way. And,
What's this thing called a margin call? Yeah.
Listen, let me tell you the problem there. Let me tell you the problem here. Can you see the price of Bitcoin now? What's the price of Bitcoin?
38,900.
38,900. Now, just say that it's going down. This is the index. This is the spot, right? This is your normal account. Now, let me tell you that if you look at Binance, again, I'm not blaming Binance, guys. I understand. Again, I got blown out on Deribit, not Binance, not blaming Binance, but I saw this on Binance. If you go to Binance, might be around 33.
Yeah.
So you might have calculated in your spreadsheet that this is okay. But you still
do you know what? I'm actually on Binance. So let me tell you what the price of Bitcoin is on Binance. So on Axie, it's not quite 38. It's 38,750 right now on Axie.
During a liquidation or rec or whatever, you will see if the index price is this, the futures price is that. So already your calculations are wrong. Now, what if you realize your calculations are wrong? Fine. You want to increase margin or whatever, guess what? As you can't do it, you can't even access it.
Actually, they're not too different. Actually, they're about 50 pips apart. So
now normal market conditions, but that was what happened last week. So that was like the sum of all fears, you know, like it was going everywhere.
Yeah,
I was even worried that my Hobby account might be liquidated, although I didn't have leverage there. So the good thing about Hobby, a credit to Hobby, I could get in.
Yeah.
I was quite surprised that I could get in.
Yeah.
Binance has too many customers.
Hey, tell me, did Dodgy actually get to $1?
No, it didn't. Went to 72.
Okay.
Yeah. Now here's the thing. So you're hearing all this, right? Now let's put this in perspective. Now, Jeff's Kusama was at 130. Jeff, you're still in profit.
Awesome.
Because Jeff didn't get liquidated. Because Jeff didn't go on margin.
So where is it now?
It's like 350 or something, you know. So
I'm still doubling my money. Better.
That's why you have to look into perspective. You have to look at the cycle. Now I'm going to show you because I'm going to have a crypto trading class on June 5th. Now, this is my trading account. Now, on the one hand, and I have a lot of haters now because I posted this somewhere and said we should ban you from posting. Hey, we're all depressed. Ban this. So here's the deal. You know, I have a rule where I only will cut the loss when it's 20% of my portfolio. That means if I start here, my career can be ended or I will take a break. I won't do it. I won't let it get blown up because I learned from my Deribit lesson. Again, not Binance, guys. I'm not saying bad things about Binance. If this goes down by 20%, I take a rest and I still have other bullets. It didn't. It went up. This went down by minus 18.77. I didn't get knocked out. And when I get knocked out here, it is minus 20. So, but look at the ROI after the crash. Look at the equity curve after the crash. This started in January. So again, if you are starting early, I think last week was basically an end of the cycle.
Yeah.
That's it. It's just an end of the cycle. Now, this was here, right? And people have to look this in perspective. Because a lot of people, unfortunately, and I'm very sorry for that because they came in and maybe we didn't have a crypto moon or crypto trading. They came in here and they did that. It's like a somersault.
That looks like a subtle warning to me.
I know. This is the equity curve. But my only mistake here that I will improve for the next time, I will put the minus 20%, getting out of the account, probably from the ATH instead of the daily close. So that's one improvement. Now, you look at this cycle. This was from January. Now, I'm going to give you another cycle. This is something. So I told the guys that this had 280. Before that, it was 360. But I sold off 50,000 already. Now, if you guys remember, this is the account that I showed you guys during our US show at night. And if you remember, this was started at 11K. And I think during the US show, it went up to 65K. So this eventually, from November until now, which is 2 cycles, eventually topped out at 410. I took out 50. So this is 360. This is actually 410 minus 300. So that's a 25% drawdown. Now, am I happy with 25%? No, but I'm okay. It doesn't really hit me hard. And that's what people have to understand. Because at the end of the day, this started with 11K. And in less than a year, it went to 410K. Yeah, 410K. So again, take things in perspective. But as I said, don't be afraid to take profit. The only mistake I made here, I don't know how I totally just didn't cross my mind. Because I take profit into Bitcoin here, right? I take profit into Bitcoin here. I only converted 50,000 US into USDT. I was busy converting the Ethereum account. So that's profitable because I sold it all in US, but this is something I need to improve upon that if I'm taking on Ethereum, I should also take on Bitcoin. And let me show you something else on how you can get this thing. Okay, because one of the larger components of this account, there are 2 main cryptos in this account, was Arweave. Now let's trace this. But you need to know what crypto really is. Okay, so this started during the US show. Let's go here. Okay, this was the big component here. We started when? We started here, right? We started here. At this time, this was 65K. Now, there were other cryptos in that account, but guys, this was at $8. I hodled until it fell down to like 1.47. I hodled it. And look what happened next. And then I started taking profit here. I started taking half of the profit out. So it's hard to hold during this time, but you got to have faith. But of course, this was kind of balanced, and that is what happened. So you got to really look at crypto from, the longer you are, then, you've gone through several cycles. It probably have done this. Yes, a 25% drawdown is very depressing, but it's from that level. And I should have had more. It shouldn't have been 20%. It should have been like 15. But I forgot to convert to Bitcoin. So that's that.
I mean, it looks like it could mess around here for a while. I'd like to get back to the NFTs a little bit, mate. Now, you're talking about somebody's bought that video of NFTs, which is crazy stuff.
Yeah,
is there any?
Finger.
What do I do?
Are there any developments of some genuine NFTs that actually have some use at the minute that are launching? So do we have, for example, I mean, I think the sports cards make a lot of sense. Do we have, for example, any clothing NFTs, or do we have any music NFTs or housing NFTs? Is there anything that is coming to the market where we are actually, because I'll tell you what I'm interested, mate, is the transition from the current world order to the new world order, and I really want to know, are we sort of like getting closer to kind of like making that transition into digital, so people are selling houses through NFTs and things like that?
Not yet. But
not yet.
People are selling this. Okay, I'm going to show you something else. Okay, I'm going to show you something. Yes and no. Let me say NFT house. They are. But it's all fully NFTs. So you still do not have something to live in. But
okay.
Okay, but it's on. See, this is what I like. Again, this is just what I like. Okay, virtual real estate. Now, let me tell you why I like this. Okay. Again, guys, please get your home first. Please buy your home first, okay? I mean, don't come to buy. Say, I bought your NFT. I don't have any home. Okay, fine.
You mean our bricks and mortar home? You don't
please buy your bricks and mortar home. Now, why I like this? Look at this. It is coming to virtual real estate. You can start buying it. It's already there.
Okay.
Already there. Now, this is good for me because, you know, what I do, again, I've said this before, right? Other than putting my, you know, when I bring out my money from crypto into the boring world, which is the real world, I put it into gold and I put it into real estate. I have a problem with real estate because I've seen a lot here. This is KL, Malaysia. A lot of people owning a lot of properties and not knowing what it's about. That's not cool because your unit will then be in a state of disrepair and all that. I don't want to do that. But where do I put my money? Okay, I have a gold account, but I have quite a lot there also. So this is good because then I can put it in virtual real estate because it's easy for me to go in and out.
Right. Is this like a REIT?
No. This is still, yeah. I think one day it will come out where there is in the future the plots of land. You have something like Sandbox is already on a plot of land, and you guys in the class know like Alice is going to sell the plot of land. So yeah, that's
Okay.
something very, very, very interesting. It's just started. But for me, I look at it as, okay, I can actually go into the property market, which I like, without actually going into the property market and having to call the lawyer and having to deal with the lawyer and having to call, you know, the valuer if I want to sell my property and having to deal with tenants and the contracts again.
And what do we own here? If we were to buy an NFT, what are we actually getting for our?
Up to land. We're in the phase where you still own land. It's a lot of.
So you don't land. You don't land. So if you bought the NFT of this, you don't own the land.
You own land, and on the NFT, on the land, you can actually build a house.
Okay.
And you can actually have things like dragons on the land, or a cow.
Okay.
I know this is a bad cow, but that's what you do. And then
okay. So really, and this is your point. Case in point, really, is that the crypto space cannot collapse if we are going towards this NFT situation, because the only way that you can purchase NFTs is with cryptocurrencies.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
Crystal,
not true yet. I think what they've done, like Flow is the biggest one, right? So for Flow, which is a game card, you can actually purchase it with good old USD.
Okay.
Credit card. But
okay.
Not many have done this, but yeah. For now, I think 95% of the NFTs you still need crypto.
Okay. Crystal's asking, isn't Cardano doing NFT real life?
No, that is this. That is more of real. That's education, right? Now, what's happening in NFT is Uniswap. I know this is weird. This is hard to understand. Now, here's the deal. You know, when you say you provide liquidity, right? Say you want to provide liquidity. You don't need to understand what liquidity is. Say you provide a token. What token do you like? Yeah. What token do you like, Ash? You like Ethereum?
No, I like Cardano.
Okay. Say you provide ADA to Uniswap pool. You don't need to understand the LP and stuff. ADA can go up and down, right?
Yeah.
And I provide ADA, and ADA can go up and down. My ADA from your ADA is no difference. If my ADA goes to 150, your ADA goes to 150.
Yeah.
That is fungible. We're the same. However, now in Uniswap, which makes it very capital efficient, they say, okay, Ash, if you provide it, you can say, I want my ADA to go only from 140 to 170. If it is there, I will provide liquidity here, because you get rewards. You can now calculate your rewards, and you can kind of do, and this is the good news about last week. Okay? You can do the calculation that if it goes out of whack, I'm going to give up the rewards, but you probably come out break even. Whereas me here, I'm going to either get big rewards or I am going to get wrecked.
Yeah.
Now, the good thing about this model, I saw an article which is people were clapping, you know, because like me, not many people clap, but a lot of people were clapping last week on the crypto crash because it tested out Uniswap. For some reason, the Uniswaps of the world were working, unlike Binance. Now, expensive gas fees is different. But if you had this thing here, you were pretty much protected. There was not a report of all these NFTs going out of whack. So that's good, which is surprising, you know, like
almost like options, isn't it, really?
Yeah. They managed to keep their value. That's cool.
Yeah.
So this is like, okay, but yeah, so it's like you always thought that the centralized finance would the centralized system would bear this shock better, but no, the decentralized one are working very well.
Okay. Okay. So actually, the crypto world is moving forward well right now. We got new projects that are currently, I suppose, being launched and in process. Anything exciting out there? Any sort of like new projects that you look at and go, actually, that's really interesting. You know, that is going to.
I say it's always about the crypto NFTs now.
Okay.
I'm talking about business things like one coming out is Centrifuge. And that will be a big one because it's also the launch of Polkadot, right? The Polkadot parachains are coming out. Akala, what else? Centrifuge has announced it. Akala has announced it, and Moonbeam has around it with Moon River. So the next one, I think, will be on this, on the Kusamas and the Polkadots of the world. Because here's how it works. Okay, let me tell you the schedule because you guys know. If you guys go out, if you guys want to buy Kusama, when should you buy? If you guys want to buy Polkadot, when should you buy? There is a I think, what is it? There is a 7-week period for the Kusama crowd loans. I think they're going to have once a week. Okay, so there's 1 to 7 or whatever. Now, after this period, they're going to have the Polkadot. So you know that during this period, those who haven't bought their Kusama will buy their Kusama. So you just calculate from the first one. You know that 7 weeks later, they're going to buy DOT, and then you calculate how to buy, right? Because when the Polkadot ones go live, people will need Polkadot. Mm-hmm. So this is the maturity again of, this represents the maturity of Polkadot. Because before this, in order to go for IDOs for Polkadot, you had to buy Ethereum. No more now.
Oh, really?
Polkadot is splitting out, right? So
right.
That's good. I think that's good. You know, I have a lot of launch pads. So what we've seen recently is that a lot of them have gone to Binance Smart Chain. Yes, we are all fed up of Ethereum, because even though, you know, congratulations Uniswap, you're up. I like it, and your liquidity providers are okay. That keeps up the system. But hey, if I want to go in and I have to spend, okay, guess how much they had to spend on gas during the crash?
Oh, didn't it come right down? I thought it was like $60, wasn't it? $1,800 in gas fees.
1,800. See, even as you don't believe it, you didn't see the one.
No.
You're right. It can't be 1,800. Oh, yes, it was.
Jeez. But they're fixing that, though, aren't they? I mean, you know, I know Ethereum is.
That's a hell of a spread, man.
Yeah,
yeah, absolutely.
We call it London. Yeah, London, July 14th. It's supposed to fix that. So what I hope will happen, and I know John hopes this to happen, John, you're a naughty guy. What I hope will happen is there's a split. The miners have 1 Ethereum and this guy has 1 Ethereum. So then we have 2. Then John will get his airdrop.
Is that the problem really with Ethereum, is the miners?
Yes, it is the miners.
Yeah.
It is the miners. It is the miners. So again, it is still a young market, but good to Uniswap. Seriously, good to Uniswap. But this will only come in, this will only start going out in June, and they've already warned the miners. But at the end, can you name this? This is YouTube, right? YouTube, please don't ban me or something. There is something in Ethereum code called this. I'm not going to say it because I think YouTube is good at this, right? At kind of this, right? Kind of detecting this. It's called like a time. I'm like Jeff now. If they don't comply by December, this will do whatever it is. I'm not going to say it on YouTube, and it will be too expensive for the miners or too cheap for the miners. They won't survive. So you
can say B0 MB. I think you get
B0. It's like S1T, right? Okay, when they can B0. Yeah, it's already programmed in.
Right.
So they had the Indian hard fork. So the London is coming on July 14th. So yeah, this is why you have to use all this news. So if Ethereum, if you are telling to me, can you tell when Ethereum can recover? No, I can't tell, but I kind of have an idea that leading towards July 14th, it will tend to go up because of this news. And if the news is indeed good, then it will go up some more because it will clear a lot of things. Because I can see now in this space, people are going away from Ethereum.
Yeah, do you know what? It's interesting, isn't it? Because Ethereum has obviously kind of had the advantage of first. They were kind of the first one to be doing what they did. I still would I still would have thought it would be prudent to have some Ethereum there, even though you may well believe in Polkadot or you might believe in Cardano or whatever else there is. But I would have thought still be prudent to have Ethereum just in case, because there's probably some company working on fixes for all the issues in Ethereum that may have actually nothing to do with Ethereum. That's because they've got a lot of users, haven't they? Ethereum, they've still got a lot of users and people still building on
most
them.
developers.
Yeah.
So and also what I see Ethereum becoming, and that's why they were talking about the flippening, because I was with Gordon yesterday. People are already talking about the flippening of Ethereum over Bitcoin. Is this Ethereum will become like the goal of the altcoins?
Right. Yeah.
Because look, the new ETFs are all on Ethereum.
Yeah.
The European, the EU, right? Or
the bonds. Yeah.
Bonds. They didn't think about Polkadot. They still thought about Ethereum because somehow being slow. Although I should have said, hey, you guys want slow? Why don't you go to ADA? Call Charlie.
ADA's doing just fine, mate. It's doing just fine. You leave ADA be. I mean, I've got to be honest, mate. I think Kusama is a genius move by Gavin Wood. It's very, very clever to have a test thing at a live testing environment. Is I think probably is a much better way to do it. But Hoskinson he's a clever dude too. He's doing it differently, but he's a clever dude too. And the fact that they've done that deal in Ethiopia, I think is
great.
And I'll tell you what, aside from anything else, what I do really like about Cardano is that they seem to me to have the most, the highest moral approach. And that's enough for me. It's not enough because obviously I want it to make money, but I really like that. I like what they're trying to do. What they're trying to do is actually fix the world to be a better place. And it's the only coin that I think is doing that.
And people are believing it, because let me tell you, the best performance IDOs now are not on Ethereum, are not on Polkadot, guys. It's on Cardano.
Yeah.
Although the smart contract is out by August. So again, we have built this expectation of ADA. You can see pools coming out in ADA. It is Cardano. They just get the best returns nowadays. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
So when people say that we don't get the returns like we did before, again, see, crypto is very weird. You have to think multidimensional. Yes, you are right. But in Cardano, you see those kind of returns now.
Yeah.
And it will always shift. The new ones will always get the highest ones, and then it will become, it's always like this. The early ones, the return of the pool. If you are in early, you get here. If you are late, you get these kinds of returns. This is a fact.
Yeah.
So that's why it's so hard sometimes in crypto, because you have to evolve, and then the whales come in and blow you out, and you get to evolve again.
Yeah. Well, this is the other thing, I suppose, is that I love the crypto space, and obviously I'm participating in it, but I probably don't have the time to split between researching quite deeply into stocks and researching deeply into crypto, and you're in a great space for that. But from my perspective, I research enough to go, let me just pick a couple of things, just a few things that I understand. Cardano is top of that list, and as I say, most of the reason actually is the what he's trying to do.
I believe it's ADA, it's Solana, and it's ICP. Now, I've taken out the Cornell University one, which is called AVAX, because they're a bunch of researchers. Researchers are nice. The problem with AVAX is this. They allowed USDT to be used for IDOs. I mean, this is kind of them. This is very kind, because you want to make it simpler for us. The problem with this, as I said, now you don't have to buy AVAX to go into IDOs. So it's fallen the most. Right. And you see Cardano is still strong up there, because at the end of the day, if I want to sell, I can sell, but I have to buy it back.
Yeah.
You know, what,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, and
Hey.
like summer, right?
Yeah. So this 7-week thing, have I got to do something soon? Have I?
Yeah. Once it's announced, I'll tell you. Yeah, it hasn't been announced yet, but pretty much Polkadot, they put in the schedule. They didn't name who, but now everyone is naming their parachains now. So we have from Centrifuge, which is good because that's what, when we'll report more on that, because that is kind of the first NFT for business. No, it's the second, I think, but that has real use case. Okay, that has live pools. Those are live. I mean, it's something that's already live that's happening. So it will be one. Yeah, I think when we get this first one, Jeff, I hope that Moonbeam or Moon River is not the first one. I hope it's the second one. And then we kind of know, okay, they will have a schedule. It's like once a week. Don't worry, it wouldn't go once. It won't go that today we have this, tomorrow we have that. It's like once a week. That's good.
Cool. So do we want Kusama to go as low as possible or as high as possible when this happens?
Kusama is like, yeah, you need Kusama. I think the low is already there. But just remember, so here's an example to make it clear the relationship between Kusama and Polkadot. And I'm using Akala. Okay, so here's this. You know the KSM crowd loans will be coming up, and then you know the DOT will be coming up. So for this company called Akala, which is from New Zealand, by the way, their Kusama version is Karura, which is a half man, half bird. Okay, their DOT implementation will be Akala. So the thing is this, once you get your Kusama locked up here, what do you do, guys? You go and get your DOTs ready for this. That's what's going to happen. So I think that DOT and Kusama will be things of the summer. And when will ADA happen? Well, here's the thing. ADA will go up because now there's news that August is already the smart contract. So that's what's happening in the crypto space, other than us getting blown out of the water by the whales. So guys, be careful of that whale thing. It's a killer whale. I know.
Yeah, it is. Or it might be a really huge blue whale that has come out of the water and is just, but we're just on the dinghy.
Yeah, we thought it was a normal whale. Like, this is nothing.
Yeah.
Nowadays, okay.
Yeah, I mean, so much speculation going around about Elon Musk as well, which I don't think it really matters, but I do think it's quite interesting.
But Ash, Ray Dalio said he had Bitcoin yesterday.
That surprises me, mate. That surprises me, and you know, he's been one of the biggest kind of criticizers, isn't he?
Right.
He's been one of the biggest critics of cryptos, and then yeah, to find out that he's got Bitcoin, I think is quite surprising. It does make him look a bit hypocritical.
I know, and when you saw the way he said it was very sheepish. I have Bitcoin.
Yeah, it's like they all are basically going, "Oh, I feel like I better get it. If I don't get it, if I don't get it,
right now you know, because it's okay. It's this, guys. Bitcoin is limited. In order for them to get it cheap, I think you guys know what has to happen, right?
Well, they'll look like idiots as well, won't they, mate? Ray Dalio will look like an idiot if it goes to 100, 200,000 and he got none, and all his mates have got it, and you know,
I know.
The whole financial system's got it except Ray Dalio. He's going to look like an absolute idiot. I mean, that's his job. His job is to pick the correct asset classes.
Got a funny feeling he didn't buy it at 60K.
No, I think you're right, mate. I think you're right.
Right. But again, if we are the normal guys, okay, Ash is the daughter. I'm sure Jeff has grandchildren. Hey, your finger can make 500.
I can't get over that, mate. I mean, it's a brilliant video, but geez, that is YouTube stuff. So this is the thing. I mean, I get these videos every day on, like basic sort of like video stream. Well, TikTok, for example. Yeah. That is no more valuable than something that you see on TikTok. No funnier than something you see on TikTok. So are we going to stop having TikTok and everybody's just going to like start selling their stuff as NFTs?
No. Okay. YouTube will always be there. The only thing is you can select your TikTok video that is the most popular and you can make it into an NFT.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable, right? Just select it and then you mint it. There are places to mint this, no problem. And then
what else did they give? What else will they get? They can't just have had that video as the NFT. What else was on offer with that NFT?
It was just that. Then I'm sure that they will have an interview with the kids and all that, right? I'm sure that is. There's some.
So, what are the mint fees?
We now it's expensive. You have to wait till Ethereum goes down. I'm sure it'll be cheaper next month or so. Yeah.
Well, yeah, like when you say
Mhm.
$5, $500,
No.
$5,000.
Just to open a shop now could cost like 800.
Holy smackaroos.
Yeah, did it before, yeah. So, but again, that's why I said now everyone can become a content creator. So, John, if you want to make a fool of yourself and for once a week, that would be worth it because you got 52 chances to make the money.
The quiz could be an
I was
NFT.
going to say,
Yeah.
we started doing the quiz of the NFT. I think might be quite cool.
I know anything can happen. A song, anything.
Yeah.
Wow. So,
Well, there was that song, wasn't there? Was the Shanty song an NFT?
yes, the
Yeah.
Shanty song was an NFT. I know that guy. Was he the postmaster or something? He's a postman, right? Yeah.
Copyright might have run out on mine as well, Ash.
No, I
Out
think he was a
in
fisherman.
West
The
Texas,
copyrights run out on
in-
your NFT, Jeff.
Yeah.
The what? Sorry.
You said the copyrights run out on yours.
Yeah.
No. On out in the West Texas town of it might have run out on that. I could put that on my Tassie Devils.
Yes, you could, mate. Yes, you
And look
could.
at this. And you know what's the best of this? Because it's minted on a smart contract, unfortunately, on Ethereum nowadays. Okay, they sell it for £500,000, which is a lot of money. Okay, to whoever that was, and this guy sells it to the next guy for £800,000.
Does he though?
80,000 goes back.
Yeah. Does he though? I mean, honestly, mate. I mean, this one idiot has bought that for $500,000. Will the next idiot honestly pay any more than that?
That's what this is, a crash of the NFTs, and there's still this market. That's what I was shocked. So then I said, okay, there is a whale territory and there is us normal guys territory. So now we know that the whales are in. So yeah, that's what happens. We know that last week was, yes, most probably manipulated. What can
Yeah, I mean, I don't suppose there's a most probably about. Is it called I'm trying to think of the term that they were sort of banding around as. Is it the myopic?
Oh, didn't hear that. I know manipulation. I know whales manipulation.
Yeah, the manipulation, they called it something. This type of manipulation, they called it something.
I haven't heard of that. Maybe
No.
I'll find it.
Yeah, it is definitely manipulation. They scare you, they blow people out. But it's very clever, right? Because when you blow out the big accounts, if you blow out the small accounts, I don't think Ray Dalio has a Facebook. He's not going to come out complaining, but if you blow out all of the small accounts, it just cascades because everyone is scared now. And then you bite and then you just keep quiet so that you can accumulate. And then one day it goes up. And guess what? The guys who missed it at the small end will now go get credit card loans and we start the cycle again.
Oh, man.
Well,
The
Jeff,
mind
you know
boggles.
this, right, Jeff? Someone will come out of the mining town and say he's smarter, man. You guys are not smart because you guys got blown out last time. We're smarter than, right?
Yeah, that's right. Stand on the soapbox and away you'll go. This is the way to do it, buddy.
This is the way.
Give me a credit card, quick.
Well, this is the thing, and I suppose anybody that's confused by all of this stuff, that my advice to you is just get involved in a very, very small way in something that Shukri has mentioned. I think as long as you buy, if you buy Ethereum, if you buy Cardano, or if you buy Polkadot, you're okay. Even if you buy Bitcoin, just buy the big stuff. If you don't get the rest of it, it doesn't matter. Just buy something big and just hold on to it, but only with the money you can afford to lose.
Mate, quick
Myopic. Thank you, mate. Myopic manipulation. That's the one.
Answer John's question here. Yes, there are. The thing is this, John. There are, again, just to tell Jeff, there are cheaper platforms on Binance. Why I haven't done anything with Jeff's NFT is this, guys. If you look in the news, there's a lot of rug pulls on Binance. That's the problem. Okay. They're like things going down it because, I think people are using this, the scammers are using this to rug pull people. And you see a lot of problems on Binance. So again, you have two issues here. We have the expensive Ethereum, but I kind of don't see the rug pull. But you have the cheaper Binance where we can save fees, but there are rug pulls and you can save your money and they might not be insured. That means your money is gone. So it's a balance.
Yeah.
What's a rock pool? Pardon my ignorance.
Rug pull is when I set something up and then, you know, I set a Shukri token and then I just run with the token after I get the money.
Ah, okay. So how many times have you done that lately?
I kind of got blown out.
What's your NFT? Is it ready to go or what?
No. Yeah, it'd probably be a video or something. Yeah, it is always very, it has to be something significant. I mean, this is okay. I'm going to show you an example of NFT so that you can have the ideas other than your grandkid biting your hand. Okay, this is cool. This is cool. We'll end it with this. I'll end it with my, but this is really cool. Now CNBC has an NFT. I'll show you this. It must be a significant event. This is really cool. CNBC NFT. So here it is. So I'm going to give you an idea for this also. Now there is now an NFT on CNBC because this guy called the market low. There, look at that. Remembering and honoring a CNBC icon with an NFT auction. Okay.
Wow.
So he called the market low in 2008. So I was thinking, I'm going to call the market low of crypto every day. And Jeff, you will catch me one day getting it right.
You got to get it right one day.
and we're going to make that an NFT.
Look at this genius.
He called that day. And you know what? We're not going to sell it now because John will know it's following the show. We're going to sell it 2 years later when Bitcoin is 100. And nobody, really? He did call? Yeah, he did call. You see this video here?
Yep. There you got the proof, the living proof. Now, there's another name for that, right? Myopic manipulation. It's called short-sighted shafting.
Yeah, well, yeah. I don't understand the short-sighted bit.
Well, that's myopic, right?
I guess. Oh, yes.
Myopia is short-sightedness.
Okay. I think that's what it was called, wasn't it? Have you heard that term? Is that what it was called?
I haven't heard it. No.
Maybe it wasn't. I remember this term being bandied around, which was kind of basically the you could tell it was market manipulation because it didn't go to the price that it should have gone to. It went even lower to really flush people out, underneath, and then it bounces back up again.
And one more thing.
Yes.
One more thing. It went lower before NASDAQ opened. And did you guys see when NASDAQ opened, it's steady? Because at least I've been fed with, I don't have to do anything. I just have to watch the NASDAQ.
Yeah.
And when it goes before that, like, hey, I'm like disoriented to like, what is happening?
That's interesting, mate. That's interesting. So when you say that, what you mean by that is that if you watch the NASDAQ, it is a pretty good proxy for the crypto market.
Yes. And this was before the NASDAQ opened. It was just after my show. It was during that 1 hour, like, what is happening? And by the time the NASDAQ opened and the time it regained its footing, it then had the biggest bar ever. Like, what?
Yeah. Argo blockchain continues to be a really good barometer as it happens for Bitcoin, and it bottomed out on the 19th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotta look at that. And
yeah, it's really interesting. It's got to break 170. If it gets above 170, I think we're going right back to the upside as well. So watch out for Argo blockchain. I managed to pick some up at 115. And it's coming back up. And this is the other thing, you see, I'm participating in the crypto space in other ways, and that's people can do that. If you're not comfortable in crypto markets, look for other ways to participate, because you can go by Coinbase. If you think that the thing is solid and you think crypto market will be here forever, just go and buy some shares in Coinbase or Argo blockchain or NFT investments or
MicroStrategy.
Or MicroStrategy. I mean, there's a lot of them now, isn't there? There's a lot out there now.
Yeah, correct. But
ETFs and all sorts.
Just remember.
Limitless.
Yeah, just remember the myopic manipulation now, because you know that when did it try to retest the low? It retested it on the weekend when the NASDAQ was open, right? When NASDAQ was closed.
Right.
So just beware.
Right.
You know, once upon a time, we waited for the weekend because it gone up. It goes up during the weekend. Now it's like the weekend is like, okay, we got to be careful.
Yeah.
Nasdaq close. I want the Nasdaq to open 24/7 now.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, mate. Well, let's wrap it up. I'm not sure if there's I think there is a show on after us. I'm not sure what time. It might be in a little while, but let's wrap it up for the day. It's been really good fun
Yep.
as always. Nothing else to update from your side, Jeff?
No, mate, no. Still waiting for those breaks to be proven false or otherwise, and that's probably going to be later today or tomorrow, I would imagine. But John, I'm sure you're right with the short-term part rather than my short-sighted shafting, but I still like it.
I like yours. I like your definition too, mate. I like that's very good. I'll find out if that was the correct term, if I can. Hanan, you are very, very welcome, mate, as are you, John, and everybody else that's in the room. And we will see you as always tomorrow. Ainsley will be in the room tomorrow. Interested to get Ainsley's take on gold's price action after the breakout, and then we'll be wrapping up for Thursday. But thanks again, guys. If you enjoyed the show, please hit the like button on YouTube at the bottom, and we will see you in the morning.
And we haven't got a hate button. How come we haven't got a hate button?
Nobody's going to hate it, mate.
All right. Thanks for being our trading buddies, and we'll see you tomorrow.